Well, square up first, guys. Good stuff. Now just turn around and watch these guys, please, and thanks. Thanks, guys. Good job. Dale? Thanks, buddy. Thanks. Bryan? Welcome to Halifax.
Here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, where we're getting set for the UFC's debut in the city. Bantamweight action sees Rafael Assunção taking on this man, Bryan Caraway, in the co-feature. And first of all, Bryan, how's Japan?
Japan's awesome, man. I had a little rough time traveling, a little bit getting in there, but once I got in, it was amazing. The Japanese fans are always really cool.
How did that play into things, getting ready for this fight just 2 weeks out, such a big trek over to Japan?
It actually helped out a lot because it allowed me to focus on restricting my calories, doing more cardio and conditioning, so to really help me get my weight down. Also let my body heal up a little bit. When you're back home training, you want to make sure I'm eating enough food so I'm ready for sparring. I have guys coming in to try to not try to injure me, but we're competitive. We have a tough competitive team, and I want to feel strong in practice, but still balance the losing weight and dieting. And when I went over to Japan, I had my head coach Falls with me, and I was able to work my mitts and work on my technique and really kind of visualize and focus on cutting less calories and getting my weight down. So I felt it was good mentally, let my body heal up physically, and I was able to get down in weight significantly. So it helped out a lot.
The bantamweight picture right now is just such an interesting one with the return of Dominic Cruz, and certainly this fight for you against Rafael Assunção. A victory here really makes things very interesting at the top of that 135-pound picture. When this fight was presented with you, did it just make all the sense in the world that this is a great opportunity for you and for Rafael, conversely?
Absolutely. Rafael is 6-0. I feel like he should have already fought for the title, but due to injuries or whatever happened, it hasn't happened. So now I get a chance to kind of essentially steal that from him. I feel bad for the guy because it's hard for anybody to put a 6-fight win streak together in the UFC, and I believe that earns a title shot. But now I get to come in there and be the spoiler, and I get to beat Rafael. I get a chance to beat him, and still out of way. I definitely feel like he's the #1 contender right now. Although Dominic Cruz came back and had an impressive performance, I still feel Rafael has earned his time, and it's kind of bittersweet, I guess. Like, I feel bad for the guy as a fan and a friend, but although it's a great opportunity for me, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to finish Rafael Assunção, and I'm going to be the #1 contender and ready for the Dillashaw versus Cruz winner of that.
Who do you like in that hypothetical fight with Cruz and Dillashaw?
Whoever wins the belt.
All right. For Rafael, what do you think has been? You mentioned the injuries as well, but there's a huge element of this, of kind of creating that demand amongst your audience that want to see someone in that kind of a position. You're someone that seems to really understand that element to the sport. You can win as many fights as someone like that has, but you've also got to really engage the public to kind of demand that kind of a fight.
Absolutely. This is an entertainment sport. It's an entertainment business, and you got to have a little bit of that element. Whether people hate you, love you, they want to see you fight, whether it's to get beat up or whether it's to win. And that's a big, important element. And, I'm just really stoked to have the opportunity to fight Rafael Assunção, to fight a top 5 level guy, to show that I belong there, and to show after I beat him that I'm ready for a title shot.
You've worked your way up at 135 pounds right now. It seems that Manny Gambrian, he's looking to just leapfrog here. And is it a fight that, wouldn't even make sense for you after this point? Is that a fight you do want? Absolutely.
I don't think it makes sense. I'm in fighting, first of all, for fun and for business. Yeah. And that's neither. That's drama, like whether it's linked to Ronda, it would be the drama, high school stuff, which I'm past. And for the business aspect, that's looking backwards. That's looking down. And I'm looking up at the world title. I'm looking at guys who are ahead of me. And I feel like that would kind of be a leapfrog for him. He hasn't really been relevant at all. And I think that's just him trying to make a smart business decision to become more relevant. I'm fighting the co-main event against Rafael Assunção, the #1 contender. And I think he's just trying to, he did a good job of getting his name out there. Everybody's asking me about this, but I'm like, I feel like it's not even relevant for him to even be calling me out. So no, I'm not looking down. I'm looking up at that world title fight, and I don't really care about that. I don't really pay attention too much to it.
Getting back to a Sunsao, typically when we'll see, two guys with the pedigree in terms of grappling that both of you possess, sometimes that gets negated. And is that kind of what you envision on Saturday? Would you like to get onto the ground with a Sunsao? Because certainly interesting dynamics that this fight could go in whichever direction.
I like to take the fight anywhere, like with anybody. But the biggest thing that I do like is I do always like getting on the ground. I like getting in funky situations, scrambles. I don't care who it is. I do like getting on the ground. I don't mind striking either, but I feel like it brings an interesting aspect of the fight when you get some really funky scrambles going on. The fight starts on the feet, and it could get boring too if you stay on the feet and negate each other and kind of stay away from each other. And that's what I don't want to happen. I want to put the pressure on, and I want to force a fight to happen, and I want this to kind of be an ugly fight. I want to push the pace and get in there and mix it up, getting some funky scrambles and show some groundwork, show some good striking, wrestling. I want to show what a mixed martial arts is all about, and I feel like if I go in there and I put the pressure and I fight my fight, and I be relentless on whatever it is I'm doing, I definitely feel I should come out the victor.
Last question here. Just when you look at this fight, are you the kind of fighter that it's just tunnel vision on Saturday night and fighting a Sunsao, or are you someone that you have that pathway in mind of which way can I navigate myself to a title fight, and what direction am I going to go after this?
At this point, I'm worrying about the fight and focusing on that, and then afterwards is when the business stuff comes into mind. Like, okay, how should I do this or play this, and what's the UFC think a little bit, and trying to lobby for a little bit. But I also feel I'm very reasonable and logical, and I feel after a win over Rafael Sunsao, I believe in my eyes I'm 5-0 in the UFC. Granted, I lost split decision to Mizugaki. I felt like I won that fight. I feel like a lot of people feel I won that fight. I feel like the UFC thinks I won that fight. That's why I'm getting the fight with Rafael Sunsao for the #1 contender spot. So I feel with the win over him, I will earn that chance to fight for a title, and that's what I want. You know what I mean? After this fight, that's what I want to push for. Every fight I want to push for now is to get to that world title.
It's an important fight coming up this Saturday night from the Scotiabank Center in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Rafael Sunsao, Bryan Caraway.